We are happy to announce the release of our latest book, Overcoming Mediocrity, Limitless Women. This book features 20 women who know what it's like to disrupt the status quo and overcome challenges that, at the time, seemed impossible to face. Yet they did. They were limitless. And they're sharing their stories of courage, strength, and perseverance with you today. Plus, this incredible book also includes 20 free gift downloads and buckets of wisdom, as these experts share tips on how they've become successful, impacting the world in such a powerful way. Tips you can apply to your life too. Visit ombook.org to get your very own copy.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast. I have the honor of interviewing the last final group of women who have participated in our Overcoming Mediocrity Limitless Women book. And these women, all of the women that have been in these books, are the reason why this podcast exists. Because I've seen the power of how we can share our stories in the world to make a bigger impact. And boy, do these women have amazing stories. So first, I would like to introduce you to Josephine. Josephine, welcome to the episode today.
Thank you so much, Christy. I'm so excited to be here with you and with everyone. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. So I'd love to have you share with the audience just briefly a little bit about your story. Share some of the good nuggets.
Okay, sure. So I'm the chief banking officer and president of Ledyard Bank, and I'm also the founder and owner of JM Fit for Life. My story is around the cost of financial freedom. So financial freedom is going to mean many things to many different people. I mean, basically, it means that you have enough financial resources to cover your living expenses, and it allows you to, take control of your life goals. But it also implies that you're in control of your finances and your life choices, and that all of that they often affect someone's control of their financial freedom. So just taking all that into context and the ability to clearly see where choice and control intersect on your life's financial journey. I talk about my personal life journey to claiming and fighting financial freedom. And that had to do with the ability to leave my marriage. So I talk about my journey through that entire 20 years, what I learned from it, and how it that financial freedom.
Great. And so did you have something that you are sharing with your story that you want to tell the audience so they can go ahead and get that from you?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to be offering a free financial wellness survey, and I'm also going to be offering a free consultation. And it allows someone to assess their thoughts, their beliefs, their behaviors, and their results with money, and how it all begins with them. And, I'll ask questions like, what's your relationship with money? How do your thoughts and beliefs impact your approach to experience, impact your financial life? These are all really, really important in beginning your journey to awareness and realization. And then I love to schedule consultation and be able to help people begin their journey.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And if you want to connect with Josephine, her contact information is in the show notes below, as well as the instructions on how to get her free gift. So next I have Jamie. Jamie, welcome.
Oh, thanks, Christy. So excited to be here.
Yes, we are having so much fun. I love your story. You do something in your story talks about something that your specialty is something I never really knew existed as a issue, but I really can connect with what you do and what you've learned and how you help women. So can you share a little bit about that story?
Yeah, I would love to. So many of those women in this book have, these awesome one big thing that changed their life. And for me, it was more a series of little nudges from the universe. So, I just kind of learned over time that, paying attention to all of these little experiences and putting them all together can really, line me up for setting me up to do what I love. So the women that I love to help are those that have something called PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And if you hadn't heard of it, it's a hormonal imbalance where these women, they're producing too many androgens or testosterone. And so it can lead to them having, weight gain, acne, hair loss or hair growth in an unwanted pattern, those sorts of symptoms. And they do all of the things that their doctor tells them. They get on birth control, they to try to balance their hormones, and that might get rid of some symptoms but doesn't get to the root of it. Or like me, when I was experiencing weight gain and having acne, I was like, oh, I'll just eat less and exercise more, and I was counting every calorie and getting on the treadmill, and it didn't budge, it didn't work. And I was like, no, I counted, I'm supposed to be losing weight. And so I just kind of dove into this thing, figuring out that there's a deeper issue. And when you get to the root cause of what's driving the hormonal imbalance, you can actually make shifts and changes and feel so much better. So that's kind of what I do now. And in my story, I highlight my own journey, and then I pull up the stories of 4 of the clients that I've worked with and how they had success as well with some of these different root causes that they worked through.
Perfect. And you are also giving away something fabulous with your story. What is that?
I am, yeah. So we have, there's an hour-long webinar that we created on PCOS for women, so they could just start to see what some of these root causes in there. So if any of this resonated, and if they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like something that I've struggled with, 1 in 10 women have PCOS, yet so many people have never even heard of it. So, so they could figure out, what might be driving the root cause. And we're also giving away our root cause quiz. So you could, take the quiz and start to realize, what might be driving your symptoms.
Wow. Awesome. Yes. So that, like I said, that really resonated with me. And the fact that 10% of the women out there have this is just, I think, staggering. So
it's mind blowing.
It is. So PCOS, any of this, what Jamie just shared, kind of like rang a bell for you. Connect with her, get her free gift, learn more about it, and connect with her to buy her book and read her story. I know she'll love to send you, as well as all of the women on this show would love to send you an autographed copy. And so next I have Terry. Welcome, Terry.
Hello. How are you today? Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So a really quick story here. We connected through a friend of ours who worked with you, and she had such amazing things to say about you. And she connected us because she also knew that you had an amazing story. So tell the listener, tell the audience about your story and let them know a little bit about who Terry is.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, my story that I've offered to the book is my path to finding true wealth, and the inspiration that I derived from my paternal grandmother, who, if you met her, you would not look at her and say, there goes a wealthy woman, but she was the richest woman that I know. And the reason for that is because she knew with such clarity what made her happy, what brought her joy, and what gave her a sense of purpose. And it took me over 60 years to figure that out. And for probably 20 years, I have been seeking the answer to a question, which is, why did I survive? When I was born, in my story, I talk about how when I was born, I was given 24 hours to live. And I've always felt that there's a reason that God spared me. And I didn't know what it was. And it was through this journey that I went on, that I also take my clients on, that I discovered my true wealth purpose. And I help others do the same. And that is now, I know that is my purpose, is to hold other people's hands and help them figure it out. As a certified financial planner, it probably seems like a weird thing to do. But, true wealth is more than just the numbers. It's really what makes you feel joyous, what brings you happiness, and teaching women how to climb off the hamster wheel and really enjoy themselves is what I'm all about.
Perfect. And you have a free gift you're giving as well with your story. What is that? My
free gift is a course. It's a very quick 1-2 punch course where you will learn how to discover your purpose, your joy, and then how to get on the path to creating true wealth, which is one where you experience the things that money can't buy, death won't take away, and you create a big, bold life with purpose, intention, certainty, and clarity.
I love that. Well, true wealth, things that money can't buy and death won't take away. That is great. Love that.
Thank you.
Well, oh gosh, this is great. So thank you, Terry. And next we have Eugenie. Welcome, Eugenie.
Good morning. I am very happy to be here today. I'm with Awaken Your War Transformational Coaching. And like I said before, I've been a nurse for 38 years, a very long time. My catchphrase for my business is Face Your Fear, Awaken Your War. And my story is about going from dormouse to a lioness and how to do that by defining, refining, and assigning your voice.
Wow. From a dormouse to a lioness. I love that.
Yes,
I love the visualness
yes.
of that.
And if you ever think about lionesses, they're strong, they're sleek, they're nurturing, and they are the protectors of their clan. They do most of the work, and the lion is the protector. So women are all those things. And I help women find their authentic voice, use it, and live in their purpose, and to reclaim their relationship with themselves.
Yeah.
My free gift is a discovery session, about 45 minutes. And what I do in that is I will help you look at your story, find at least a couple of patterns there, and leave with some action steps that can help you along your journey.
Wow, that's very generous, Eugenie. And I just want to encourage the audience. Most of our authors are not giving away free time, and Eugenie is doing that, very generous. But I will say that I'm sure she's not going to offer that for an indefinite period of time. So make sure you connect with her right away and grab one of those spots while they're still available. Thank you, Eugenie. All right, next we have Jackie. Welcome, Jackie. I'm so excited to have you with us today.
Christy, what's going on? How are you? Super excited to be here.
Yeah, this is so much fun. And you have an amazing story that is continuing on a daily basis. But you wrote your chapter about one particular journey. Do you want to share what that is?
Absolutely. And the fact that it is continuing on a day-to-day basis is part of the journey, is part of how I've found myself where I am right now. So I am a women's health coach. I work directly with women through highly customized programs to help them get where they want to be physically through physical change in their body. But I also help them create the mental, emotional, psychological health as well that comes along with it. I started my own personal journey focusing heavily on the physical health component, creating physical change within my body, creating strength within my body, creating weight loss within my body. And even though I was focusing on those things, I didn't have the level of happiness and confidence and self-compassion that I thought I would have when I got to this kind of dream goal or dream body, or just when I had the weight loss happen. And it wasn't really until I started to realize that happiness is what we're in search of when we're trying to create that physical change within our body. So it wasn't until I started to dive into the mental and emotional side of things and create a deeper, raw sense of health that is more holistic, right? How am I talking to myself? How am I forgiving myself, loving myself, showing up for myself? And that is now how I teach women to find health within themselves, to find that health in change in their body, but to where it's not just health or happiness, and it's not just happiness without health either. It's really a holistic, self-loving, healthy, and happy human is what I am helping women create. And not only in the now, but exactly like you said, in the future, and knowing that it is an ongoing journey and not just a one stop, like once I lose XYZ pounds, I will be happy, but it is, I am now growing forever and open to that, yet compassionate with myself at whatever pace I'm moving is really what I'm helping women create for themselves.
I love that. I totally do. And I know your contact information is going to be in the show notes below. Do you have a next step that you'd love to have the audience take with you?
Absolutely. I am helping women find self forgiveness. I think it's one thing to find self forgiveness in the day to day and for whatever happens in the future and compassion. But I think in order to move forward fluidly into that space, it's important to create a level of self forgiveness for who you have been in the past so that current you can love yourself and future you can love yourself and you can love yourself in your past. So, what I am giving away is a step by step process for how to create that deep level of self forgiveness and self compassion to love yourself into being the happiest and healthiest version of yourself.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Jackie, for sharing that. And next we have Amie. Welcome, Amie.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be with all these amazing women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I love your story. I just kind of love what you do and who you serve and how you help them. And your story is pretty incredible on how you got here. So I'd love to have you share that with the audience.
Yeah, my title is We Get to Choose. And in my childhood, I experienced abandonment, abuse, and molestation. And this really made me question the purpose of life. And those experiences contributed to me harboring unhealthy emotions of hopelessness and despair. And I contemplated suicide almost daily. With all of that, for me to be able to manage and cope with life, I turned to alcohol. But having a child to care for, I knew that I needed to change that behavior and my mental and emotional state. So what I learned, was to shift from blaming others and being a victim to my circumstances, was to learn about myself and take responsibility for how I was showing up in my life. In that, though, our expectations is that we want an apology from those people who wronged us, which means they owned up to their faults. But typically, that doesn't happen. So my story will encourage you to change your perspective about your life and to put the healing power in your hands. And when you change your perspective of your story changes.
Yeah, and it changes you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So you have a something that you're sharing with your story as well. Can you let the audience know what that is?
It's called Techniques for Less Stress. I created this because a lot of the stress that we have is fear-based, and it's that mind chatter, and it's about past experiences that we're hanging on to or creating fear about future events. So when I'm in that space of the past, those fear-based stories usually contribute to depression or even anger. And when I'm in the fear-based stories of the future, that can cause anxiety. So my gift is to be in the present moment more often so that we can experience joy more often. So it is a video series and workbook with techniques to help you embrace and enjoy the present moment.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Amie. And next we have Jenny. Welcome, Jenny.
Hi, Christy. I'm so excited to be here, and I've loved working on this project and meeting the other women that have also been a part of it.
Yeah, that and you know what? I know a lot of them, you've connected with them and they have amazing things to say about you. I'm excited to be working with you as well with what you do. But let's dive into your story first, because I want people to really understand why you do what you do, because that's kind of become your mission in the world, is to help people in this way. But I'm not going to give away your story. So go ahead and share.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a video editor, and I help businesses and entrepreneurs share their message. And my story is kind of about my relationship with video content and truly how powerful it can be. Early on, this is kind of like one of the first chapters in my life, but at some point, everybody has a traumatic event, and it changes their perspective, changes kind of their path in life. You think you're going one way, and then something happens and you go in a completely different way. And one of the first events that happened to me was an injury. It was actually a traumatic brain injury. I was an athlete in high school, and it changed me emotionally and physically as I was healing through that. And for a while, I couldn't do the things that I loved, and it put me kind of in a dark place. And one of the ways that I was able to pull myself out of that was through watching video content on YouTube. I would just open my phone, pull up YouTube, I'd watch motivational videos from all sorts of inspiring leaders. And then I worked on another video project that kind of really showed me how I could use video to help make somebody else's life better. And in business, it's not necessarily about selling somebody your product, but it's just about sharing some inspiration that might help them have a better day, to help put a smile on their face. At the end of the day, you never know what somebody else might be going through. And so I really love to help encourage thought leaders and inspiring professionals to share their message. And there's no better way to do that than through video content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have a free gift that you're giving as well with your story. What is that?
Yeah, so I've created a guide, a simple guide. It'll be an ebook, and it'll walk you through how to film a video on your own. Everything from how to deal with different lighting to framing and to basic camera settings, whether on your phone, a webcam, that sort of stuff. So you could start filming videos on your own.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. Yes. So I know years ago, I got a resource like that, and it made a huge difference in not only how I shot videos, but did photography as well with lighting and everything. So I'm really glad that you're providing that resource for people, because I know actually some of the photos on my website are pictures I took on my own with my iPhone, and it was all around the right lighting. So thank you so much for sharing that. And if anybody wants to connect with you to also get an autographed copy and see how you can help them share their story through video, all of your contact information, as well as everybody else that's on this episode and all of the books, or I should say all of the episodes that we produced around this Overcoming Mediocrity, Limitless Women book. So I want to thank all of you ladies for taking the time to share a little bit about your story, and to just having it in your heart to be able to make a bigger impact in the world by letting other people know that they're not alone on their journey, and by helping them through their journey, through your wisdom, through your insights, and the amazing resources you provide. And anybody that's listening, if you like our Overcoming Mediocrity show, please go to whatever channel that you listen and subscribe, rate and review us. And if you learned anything from any of the women on this show today, whether it's Josephine or Jamie or Amie, any of them, please share that wisdom with somebody you know, because we retain more by teaching others. And so not only will it be helping yourself learn, but it will be helping other people as well on their journey of life. So thank you, ladies, and thanks everybody. We will see you on the next show of the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where we believe that everyone can have the business and life of their dreams once they've learned the art of mastering their story. Mastering our stories is the key to everything we want in life. Our stories can either hold us back, or they can propel us to new heights. We can choose. You can choose. Choose to overcome mediocrity with us. Let's achieve greatness together. To learn more, visit www.overcomingmediocrity.org. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast.